Hi everyone, I hope that you're doing well. I'm going to do a video walkthrough of how to create a graph of your data. What you'll do is you'll open up this document here, and then because I have it set so that you'll need to make a copy, you'll go File, Make a Copy. This is just going to be a temporary workspace, so you can do something I usually do when I make a document that I know that I don't need for more than a few minutes, and I'll just call it Delete, so that I remember if I come across it in the future that I can just erase it without worrying about what it contains. I have my new document here, and I want to graph this data. This is an unusual data set. I have some data sets that just have a little bit of data. We don't have a lot of information from Mars. I have other data sets that have a lot of data. My data set from Earth is very large. I'm also dealing with very different numbers. I have 4,404 million years ago, and I have as small as 173 million years ago. The graph that we're going to build is going to allow us to stack this information vertically in a column so that we can visually see the ages of these rocks. We're going to start by selecting our data from age column all the way over to the Earth column, and we want to scroll down all the way to the bottom of our age range right there. We'll click on Insert, Chart. We see here our graph that looks really nothing like where we're going to end up here. We're going to change our chart type all the way down to a scatter plot. Next, we're going to click this button right here that's going to switch our rows and our columns. And that's going to make what exists as my x-axis right now become my y-axis. Now we're close to where we need to be. There's a few things here that we can clean up. I have a legend that's just a nonsense legend. These colors mean nothing. So what I'm going to do is go to the Customize tab, and I'll go to Legend. And its position is automatic right now, but I'm going to make its position none. Next, we'll see that the label for my x-axis is now incorrect. My label is listed as age, but it should be sample locations of rocks. Some of these rocks are sampled from meteorites, some are sampled from the moon, some are sampled from Mars, and some are sampled from different locations on Earth. My y-axis has no label. So under Chart and Axis Titles, we'll change horizontal axis to vertical axis, and we need to give this a label. And this is age, and my unit is millions of years, MY. My actual chart title is nonsense right now. It's just a list of some locations. Instead, what we should say is ages of rocks from varying locations. So from different locations, we took these rocks. What are their ages? At this point, we just have a small little finesse. We'll head down to our series, and this point size can be brought up to size 14. We can shrink this a little bit so that it's a little bit easier to compare. And we have one last thing. If you look very closely here, you'll see my chondrite meteorites are just slightly older than our other samples. It's helpful to have more breakdown lines than just these main axes of 4,000 and 5,000. To add more lines in between, we'll go down to grid lines and ticks. We'll change our drop down to vertical axis. We can keep our major spacing type as it is, but we're going to add a minor spacing type. We're going to make it count. We can add 5 of them. Those 5 minor counts now give us a nice even breakdown between these locations. Okay. At this point, our graph is done. We have sample locations of rocks and their ages, and my title is accurate. I'm going to go ahead and copy my graph. So right-click up here. Sometimes things are silly. Copy chart. There we go. We'll come back to our original handout document. And my directions say, when you're done, insert a copy of your graph. So I will paste my graph right here. And we always prefer unlinked. At that point, you can go back to your original handout, this document here, and you can move it to the trash. We are done with it. I hope that tutorial is helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to your teacher.